Have you been thinking about buying a luxury home in the state of Arizona? Well, in this video today, I'm talking to you about why I think Sedona is the best place to buy a luxury home and why it beats out some of the other local towns like Scottsdale, Cave Creek, Paradise Valley, even Flagstaff and Prescott. So the other thing I'm going to do in this video is let you know what you might need to do if you're thinking about touring, taking a look and seeing some of these luxury homes in Sedona, and what you might expect if you were thinking of writing an offer on them. And finally, I'm just going to give you a high-level review of some of the inventory of homes for sale, over $2 million in Sedona, just give you an idea of what you might expect at that price point. So if you're thinking about buying a luxury home, stay tuned. I'm going to have you thinking that Sedona is going to be the best place in Arizona to do that. The channel is Living in Northern Arizona, and I post videos every single week about living in the northern Arizona towns and the national real estate market in general. My name is Dawn Dickinson, and I am a real estate agent in the state of Arizona. So if you ever have a question about buying or selling a home, please reach out to me. My contact information is always in the description below, and I will give you a call back. So let me begin by telling you why I think my choice for a luxury home would be Sedona in Arizona. Of course, I am a little bit biased. I do live in Sedona, and I have lived here since beginning of 2019. I do love it here. It is a world-renowned mecca for beautiful landscaping, the Red Rock Formation, beautiful sunset, hiking trails, clear blue skies, so many things to do, so many beautiful views. You'll be in touch with nature, tranquility, and peace, and that makes it an ideal place for a luxury home. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about architecture and design. A lot of the luxury homes in Sedona are designed to complement the land. So you're going to expect a lot of natural materials like stone and wood, clean lines, and seamless outdoor living. You do have a lot of areas with big open patios, guest homes, pools. Some will have tennis courts. Some of these are on more than half an acre lot. It will just kind of depend on the price point, but they blend into the landscape and they have designs that are inspired by the Southwest. So think natural materials, indoor outdoor living, and million-dollar views from most of the rooms. Now, another plus to owning a luxury home in Sedona compared to some of the other parts of Arizona is, unlike some of the crowded urban luxury markets, Sedona offers a lot of space. So like I was saying, many of the luxury homes sit on more than half-acre land. Some are an acre or more, and they offer unmatched privacy and views and tranquil settings, and that is a peaceful lifestyle that you won't find in some of the other Arizona towns like Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, and Cave Creek. Another thing you'll find in Sedona that you may not find in other urban areas in Arizona is it's known for its wellness and lifestyle. It's known for having yoga, meditation, spa culture, and the deep connection to nature. And a lot of the citizens that actually live here in Sedona are very physically fit. And for many of the buyers and the residents, it's not really a home. It's kind of a retreat. It's more than a place. It's kind of a state of mind, and it's known for its wellness culture. Many of the luxury homes here include spaces like yoga studios, meditation rooms, spa bathrooms, prayer gardens, and those type of things that will also connect you to nature and give you that connection to spirituality that many people are seeking when they move here to Sedona. So let me tell you about some of the amenities in the communities. Some of the very popular luxury communities are found in areas like Mystic Hills, the Chapel Bells area, which is near the Chapel of Holy Cross, Foothills South, Soldiers Pass. There's beautiful luxury areas in uptown Sedona. Also, you have Seven Canyons and Sedona Ranch. And even if you want a luxury condominium, Park Place offers some really nice views and amenities, and you don't have to maintain the landscaping if you want somebody to do that for you. Now, the last thing I want to mention is about value and opportunity. When you compare Sedona to some of the other luxury markets across the country like LA or Aspen or Telluride, Sedona offers an incredible value and the kind of home that you won't find anyplace else. Okay, so next I'd like to give you a little bit of guidance if you're interested in coming to Sedona and touring some of the beautiful luxury homes that we have on the market. The first thing I would like to recommend is to notify or connect with a local real estate agent in advance. Probably as soon as you know you're going to make a trip and you have about a date range made up, and you could reach out to someone like me. Now, of course, any other agent in Sedona would be good, but it's very important that you connect with a local agent, preferably one who lives in Sedona already and does a lot of business in Sedona. So, of course, I would love it if you would reach out to me. And typically I say if you could give me at least a week's notice, that is preferable. But if you're planning to come here in one of the very busy months like March or April or even October or November, if you could give a little more advance notice, then that would be great. Sometimes, actually last March and April, there was like a whole week where I was double booked all day. And when I say double book, I mean I would be out with one set of buyers in the morning and then another set of buyers the afternoon that same day. And that went on for like 2 weeks straight, because March, April, very busy time of year. So as soon as you know the dates you might be coming to Sedona, it's great to reach out and have a conversation with the local agent. Tell them what you're thinking about when you would want to get your showings booked, and then that way you get the whole process started. The one thing that annoys me probably more than anything else is if I get a phone call and somebody's like, hey, I'm in Sedona this weekend. I'm here right now. Can you show me some houses? And I'm thinking, you just figured this out now. So, again, realize that if you have a good agent, they're going to be busy and they're going to need a little bit of advanced notice to work you into their schedule. Not that if it's in a slow time of year, we wouldn't be able to accommodate you a little bit quicker than that. Okay, the next thing I want to point out is if you are coming to town, it's best to hook up with your own buyer broker to represent you. Now, a lot of people are tempted if they're coming to town to say, hey, there's only 3 houses that I want to look at. Let me call each one of these listing agents directly and meet them there, which is certainly a way that you could do it. But you would be better off if you would hire a buyer broker agent to represent you. A couple of things to know about this is, first of all, most of the time the sellers are still paying the buyer broker commission. So if that's something you're worried about, I would say 90% of the time while I'm showing my house, the sellers are still paying for my commission. So that's one less thing to worry about. But if you go directly to the listing agent is certainly willing to help you, and they certainly could show you other houses, but that agent is going to be very motivated to sell that one listing, their listing, and so they're going to be motivated to present that listing and maybe aren't going to be as open to thinking through what other homes on the market might be better suited for you. So if I would take you to a listing, say, and I showed it to you and I thought this is really nice, but there are 2 others that are very similar, let me show you those 2, and then you'll have a little more information to make your decision, and you could still choose that particular listing, or you might think, oh yay, one of these others was better. So if you hire your own buyer broker, likely the seller is still paying their commission, and your own broker is going to be looking at you as the primary client, whereas a listing agent is going to look at the seller as their primary client, and then you are going to be your secondary client. And of course, the listing agent is always going to be loyal to the seller, because the seller is the one that is hiring them and the seller is the one that is paying them. Another thing to notice is with new laws that have happened, we are required as a buyer broker to make you sign a buyer broker employment agreement now to be legally able to show you a house. Now, I am not thrilled with this turn of events, but it is the law now, and I can't show you something without having you sign that, because if I get audited and I don't have that, I could be fined and my broker could be fined. So I'm sorry to have to make you sign a document, but what I can do is if you're only going to be in town for a couple of weeks, I could sign it to you for, maybe a 2-3 week period, and then you're only obligated for the time that you're in Sedona. So really there are a lot of workarounds to that, but I do want to make you aware of that you would have to hire or sign a form, either a buyer broker employment agreement or a buyer broker agreement to show property, which I also use as well. And I could give you more information on that in a separate link in a different video. I'll put that link below. Okay, one more thing to think about when you are looking at luxury homes in Sedona is many of the agents in the luxury market require you to either give a pre-qualification form that shows that you're qualified for a mortgage to buy a property in that price range, or I do get many buyers who are paying cash, and that is great, but you might be required to order to see one of these expensive homes to show some type of a proof of funds. And if you don't want to show your bank statement, that certainly is fine, and I could understand that. You might just want to get a letter from your bank saying, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Smith are qualified to purchase a home in this price range, and have that ready so that when the listing agent asks for it in order to approve the showing, that you have that available. Now, there's one more thing I want to mention is when you're ready to write an offer on a property, you find the perfect home. A lot of times in the luxury market, we do get or expect a higher escrow deposit than we typically do in other sales. So most of the time when I'm doing sales, the buyer will put a 1%-ish escrow deposit or good faith money, you know, that will go towards your final purchase price or your down payment, but that's going to be required at the time of offer acceptance. A lot of times 1% on a normal property, but if you're doing a million-dollar, multi-million-dollar home, they often require or expect a higher escrow deposit in like the 2 to 3% range. So if you're buying a house for $1 million, say, you may want to put down a $30,000 escrow deposit in opposed to what you may have done in a less expensive deal. You might have only put a $10,000 deposit. So basically that's what you need to do if you're thinking of buying a home or wanting to see a luxury home here in Sedona, Arizona. Now, a couple of things I'm going to tell you about now. I just, before I recorded the video, went into the MLS and looked at what we have for sale in the above $2 million range here in just Sedona, Arizona. Now, if I look into Sedona Verde Valley MLS, which is the primary MLS, I see there are 74 active listings over $2 million in Sedona. Now, there is another place I can look at listings, which would be the Phoenix area MLS. I looked there and I saw about 30, and some of those are going to be overlap. Now, I want to say one thing. If you are a seller and you're selling your house in Sedona, why would you hire an agent from Phoenix who's not going to list your house in the local Sedona Verde Valley MLS, where all of the people who live in Sedona, the agents that are doing all of their business in Sedona, are primarily logged into? Why would you make it that I have to log into another MLS, which would be the Phoenix MLS, to see your home? So again, if you are thinking of selling your home, definitely ask the agent that question. Are you going to list my house in the local Sedona Verde Valley MLS, where all the local agents are doing their business? So again, it doesn't mean that I can't look into the Phoenix MLS, but I don't know why a home seller would want to make it more difficult for the local agents who work in the area to find their home for sale. But I digress. So that's the story. There's about 74 active listings in the Sedona Verde Valley MLS and another 30 in the Phoenix MLS, which could be duplicates. Now, I'm going to give you just a couple examples of what you might get for the price point. So first, there's a beautiful listing by one of my colleagues that works in my office. This great guy in Uptown Sedona. It is listed for just shy of $8 million. It is on about 5 acres, and what you would get for that price would be a total of 9,100 square feet of property, and you would have a main house that would be maybe a 5,000 square foot home, and then a couple other guest houses. It would be on, again, 5 acres. You're going to have beautiful views. You're going to have pools. You're going to have a tennis court, theater. Like, that is all what you might get for just under $8 million in beautiful Uptown Sedona. Again, a private, peaceful sanctuary. And if you want to get an idea of what the property taxes would be on a just under $8 million property in Sedona, about $27,000 a year. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of other examples just so you know what you're getting. There's another beautiful property in Seven Canyons listed for about $6 million. Again, Seven Canyons is a beautiful golf course community. The home about 8,600 square feet, total living space on about 1.7 acres of land, and taxes on that property are about $28,000. So that's another advantage of buying a luxury home in Arizona compared to, say, California. Your property taxes are probably going to get be less. And one more I want to just go over. The very most expensive one right now on for sale in Sedona is on Schnebly Hill. It's listed at $30 million. Now this one might be zoned commercial in addition to residential. I forgot to note that, but again, it's 13,000 square foot of building on 7.5 acres. So there are other beautiful homes. I have shown so many beautiful homes in Sedona. There was one out by the creek that had several buildings. I don't see it listed today. I did show one in the Bacco Beyond neighborhood, which is quite beautiful. It was about $3 million, and I maybe showed that a year and a half ago, where there was a beautiful wraparound deck, and from the deck and from many of the windows inside, you had a clear view of Cathedral Rock, Bell Rock, and Courthouse Butte on one side, had beautiful red rocks on the other side. The home had a beautiful water feature, yoga room, meditation room, views from every angle of the house, and a gigantic wraparound deck, and it was on several acres. So this is about what you would expect for a luxury purchase in Sedona. It will be hard to beat that anywhere else in the state, especially if you're going down to Phoenix, Valley of the Sun, living in Scottsdale, Carefree, Cave Creek, Paradise Valley. Again, those homes are beautiful in their own right and might be better suited for you if you have children in school, or you want them to participate in sports, or if you're still working in the corporate world and have a job down there. But again, even if you do have children, Sedona schools, it's nice because you have small classrooms, small teacher to student ratio, so you still could consider it up here, and I would think that would be your best choice. That's my opinion. Again, my name is Dawn Dickinson. I hope you found this information useful, and again, if you ever have a question about buying or selling a home here in Arizona, please give me a call or a text or an email. My contact information is always in the description below, and I will call you back or text you back if you reach out to me. The channel is Living in Northern Arizona, where I will review all sorts of topics relating to living in the Northern Arizona towns and real estate in general. So if you like this type of information, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing. That helps other people find this type of information as well. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you back here on my channel next week, because I post videos just like this every single week. Hope you have a great week, people, and I will see you back here again soon.